Happy today to you folks. I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing day today. So today on Saturday, I dedicate to doing reviews of the forgotten storytelling genres of like movie and TV serials like Doctor Who, and that sort of thing too. So I thought it'd be fun for me to knock out my next serial. For you folks, this is 1935's The Lost City. This is it's an independent film that was released by film. Well, you get the idea. It's an independent serial. It was released by Super Serial Productions Inc. This is from 1935 with just 12 chapters, but a very, very long clip, about 4 hours, which is very, very long for 12 episodes. I've seen 15 episodes that aren't that long. So this is taking the basic plot of the Phantom Empire that was released earlier that we reviewed and I've read watched a couple of times too, and I really enjoy it. It's an intellectual IP too, and it's a unique IP, right? It's not based on anything too. You can definitely tell, but they're moving it from the West to Africa in order to sort of dial up the stuff, the danger, right, and the stakes, and the drama. So it's starring a lot of folks. It's actually, its first star is actually the big bad. Really, and typically that wouldn't be the first one, but that is William Stage Boyd as Zolak, and then he is first billing word, and then his antagonist is played by Kane Richmond, and that's as Bruce Gordon for you folks. It also stars Claudia Dell as in third billing. Right? Normally the female love interest would be fourth after her father, who's also a major character here too, and that's played by Joseph Swickard for you folks, and that's Dr. Manius for you folks, and they're also key characters in the plot. It also stars Eddie Featherston. There's an ST in there. As sidekick Jerry Donnelly, who goes with him, and then George F. Hayes as Butterfield. It's directed by just one person, and that is Harry Revier, but it's written by like a ton of people. Those include Zelma Carroll, it's probably George, but it's GEO, Merrick, Robert Dillon, Eddie Grammerman, Leon D'Urso, and Paisley. No, I'm sorry, I gotta zoom in on that. It's Pearly, Sheehan for you folks, and then the plot here, like I mentioned before, is taking the basics, but let's drill down into this. So what's happening here is a lightning storm that's been attacking a lot of different people and infrastructure all across the world has struck, and it's being sent by Zolak, the big bad. Bruce Gordon, on the other hand, is kind of an electro specialist scientist, right? Specializes in electricity, so he builds a tracking device to check it out. He's about to turn it on and reveal where this is to a lot of like newspapers and experts, and a couple of his rivals. Most people don't believe it's going to work. They think he's a pseudoscientist. And then also we have a few folks there too that are trying. Some of his rivals try to take it out, but he'll actually, before that happens, we'll know exactly where this is going, and that is what they say is an unexplored part of Africa. But lots of folks are there, right? Like Butterfield's Fort is there too. All right, so that's kind of the setup for the plot. Also, then an expedition will set out with the rivals too, and because he doesn't know they took him out. They arrive at Zolak's base and see Dr. Manius has been developing a way to turn natives into giants that have no mind or free will. That's been erased from their conscience, and then his daughter's life is being held as the stakes to keep him compliant, if that makes sense. So this is of its time from a few different ways. First of all, from like I mentioned in this profile, there are kind of two women, and the first one is our love interest, and she is the virginal woman, the one that needs to be saved and protected, and that sort of a thing too. And then there is the woman who is more sexually available, and that sort of a thing too, but she needs to be kept away from, right? And there actually is a native person here too. And so you can actually, as available for him to and tries for his activity. So yeah. So it does have that too. It also has it does have a few blackface people here. Also a North African group too will reach this area too, and so they are also in Middle Eastern. But most of these are actually played by black people, oddly enough, which is interesting. But there is a weird plot line here that's definitely out of its time. So basically, in this. There is a you'll see about halfway through, but you'll find out from that it's better for black people to be white, and that sort of a thing. You actually want to be too secretly, right? And that sort of a thing too. That's actually a little plot line. It's not one interpretation, right? From it, and that sort of a thing too. But you'll check that out. So there are tons of plot twists here and there. I do like the combat and plots and constant betrayals too. It's great stuff, but it's poorly paced at 4 hours. And it's definitely of its time with both the Madonna horror dichotomy and its bad playing of race and poorly paced, like I mentioned before. Although it's Africa's better than the Tarzan one, we saw it in 20. Just said so. So I'm giving this a 6.5 out of 10 for you folks. Have you seen it? If so, what did you think about it? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Remember, I'm not a trained movie critic, right? I didn't go to film school. I don't make films for a living, right? None of that stuff, right? So your opinion really is as valid as mine, because I'm not coming to you from a place of expertise, right? Now, I try to dedicate this Saturdays to the forgotten serials that we might have forgotten about. Right, and that sort of thing too, and bring these to your attention because they're heavily influential on modern films and cinemas, but a lot of people just haven't heard of them or haven't watched them. Right, I'll link it to you in the description below in case you're interested. But and at the time we probably would have spent like a half a day with these, and they would have been the things that we would have gone to with an intermission and heading home to. And they were the water cooler talk of the era too, because that's what people kept coming back to. How's this person going to survive this cliffhanger? Let's find out. Right? Basically, how you typically were there for half a day with a big picture too, right? And then some shorts like cartoons, trailers, sometimes not as often, newsreels too. Typically, right? So you would check it out, right? And definitely feel like watching those with your friends and your coworkers, and your churches and your schools, right? Everybody will go and watch them and then talk about them, right? And so I definitely feel like that. That's something that we just don't appreciate today. Alrighty for you folks. Now, I do a few older reviews of this on Wednesday. Do reviews of older video games, or sometimes more recent ones too. As the case may be. I just did Guild Wars one from 20 years ago. On Monday, I do reviews of older RPGs that are in the tabletop side of things instead of video games, as well as war games too. I'm currently doing reviews of Dungeons and Dragons modules. I just did X6 and Quagmire. So then next is X7. This is the War Ashes Cron. Yesterday I did my top 10 short stories, and I'm in number 60. It's actually the sixth one. And then the other 3 days a week I do reviews of older things that you read in the science fiction, fantasy, horror genres too, right? All presentable, right? And so those 7 reviews a week of horror stuff, plus this, that sounds like your cup of tea. Well, great. Welcome to the channel. Have this seat. I think you'll enjoy your time here quite a bit. All up and down the bottom for you folks. And as you can tell from those 7 older things that I try to review for you folks, it's the passion of this channel, right? To find these things for you and unpack them for you folks. I know it's not exactly the getting hits, but it's the passion of the channel. It's even where it's innate. Comes from, it's a quote by French philosopher Jacques Joubert, who says that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old stuff, right? And this is definitely some older stuff we might have forgotten about, right? And our passion for the new movies in this case, the new novels, the new video games, right? We sometimes have forgotten that these things are standing on the shoulders of giants. So let's check out those giants, right? Alrighty, so I want to thank you so very, very much for just taking some time out of your day and investing, right, and watching my videos, because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions to rise back you. Spend this time with me. That's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate that so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.